My name is Willie Brown Jr. and I am the father figure to a 9-year-old young male.
My name is Rob Rollins. I got a 12-year-old son, 12-year-old Minnie.
My name is Robert E. Rollins, and I have 3 wonderful children.
Honestly, I didn't have any thoughts until probably high school. I didn't have a father figure around until high school. It was just me and my grandma, and my mom, so I didn't have one until high school. Then I guess it kind of got better because I realized there is folks that's out there just taking, being a man and stepping up to responsibility. So after that, it was like, hey, somebody else can do it, I can do it,
Growing up, my dad wasn't with us. My mom didn't marry my dad, but I had this wonderful idea that somebody that would always take care of me, and I was into sports, somebody that would always be there with me. But I found folks that would stand in his place, and when I was about 9 years old, I decided to go and find him. And that was a very pleasant experience. It was wonderful because he loved to fish, he loved the ocean, so that Friday afternoon after school when we went directly to the ocean, and he went spear fishing and went into the coral reefs and got some lobsters, and it was one of the best days of my life.
I've always wanted a son. I grew up with 2 sisters, and I had never had anybody to show stuff to. So having a son just seemed like it was supposed to be. Stuff that I ran across, I get to, kind of try to help them to navigate around some stuff, because life is tough.
Yeah.
I was excited about it. My wife, when we got pregnant, she said she's having a girl, and I used to agree with her to save ourselves an argument. But then my buddies, I used to tell them, it's going to be a boy, and he's going to be born with a soccer ball on his right foot and steering wheel in his hand. And he grew up, I couldn't get him to play anything but soccer for a while. And he loved driving, and he loved speed even from a little kid. My first daughter, she came, I was excited because I always wanted a boy and a girl. So when my first daughter came, I was excited, but that same night she had a problem and they had to operate on her. And so, but I enjoyed my daughter, and then my second daughter came along. I was kind of mad because I had to go and pick the 2 little ones up from school, and she chose that time to come when I wasn't there, and I was kind of upset. But it was a very pleasant experience, and at that time we were pastoring for the first time, so it was a very, very exciting year, full of nuances and new challenges, and it was a pleasant time.
He's been a part of my life since he was born. When he was born, he was actually, my wife's mother had custody of him since he was born, so we was kind of always there having him, throughout the weekends or whatnot, always going over there. Then my mother-in-law, she passed. So when she passed, it was like, there was no other choices. Like, okay, she had other children besides my wife, but it just felt like comfortable. That was the only other option. I mean, there was no other options. That was the only thing to do. So it's like, hey, come on. I mean, that's it. There wasn't no other choices. So.
Because you hear about kids that go through these little problems, wanting to hurt themselves and stuff like that, and it probably stems from some little small thing that is outside of their control. But you would hope that if they were strong enough, that whatever it is, that it wouldn't affect them in that way, But trying to make sure that that they're strong enough to withstand the little troubles that are out there.
At the time, especially when we lived in Milwaukee, and Nike was coming up and it was a big deal, and kids were being slaughtered and hurt for their Nike, so I couldn't buy my son Nike. I would not buy him Nike. They were being hurt for their leather jacket school, so my son never had one. My daughters never had either, because I did not want them to be hurt. Because and I used to pray daily that don't let anybody hurt my kids, because I don't want the cops to take care of it. I would like to handle it. So that was my prayer every day, for protection and that sort of thing, because my number one responsibility and fear was for my kids being safe.
My only serious worry is that he might not live out his full life because of his skin color, because of his race, and being a male. I know how I was when I was a child. I know what I've been through. I know what I could have been worse. I know what I've been through as an adult, dealing with race issues. So it's like he has his whole life in front of him. And one, he's a male, and two, he's a black descendant. So that's my only problem. That's my only concern as far as long term, him not being able to see or live out his full capabilities of life because of being taken, whether it's street violence or whether it's criminal being robbed, or whether it's the police or whatever. It's just, that's my only worry. I think they're kind of all proud moments, honestly. When he smiles continuously for like 10 to 15 minutes straight, that's a proud moment. That makes me feel good, and especially when it's something I've caused, or whether it's just seeing him out playing, or whether that's just a proud moment for me. So it's nothing really in particular. It's just every time I see it, it's like, hey, that's good by me.
Wow, there's so many. One big thing is that my son liked soccer like I did, and not just liked it, but he excelled at it and was pretty good. I did track and was pretty good at it, and he also did track and was good at it. And so those are proud moments. And then my first daughter came along, and she was just excellent in track, and she loved to perform and sing. And the three kids really bring lots of joy to us, because they were very active in all the stuff they were doing, and so we really appreciated that. And so I had many joyous occasions.
Yeah, so that's what's cool. I could see me in him, and it cracks me up. It cracks me up every time.
So I tell him, young Robert, to spend more time with the children, because they grow up too fast. They grow up too fast, and before you know it, they're gone.
I would tell myself, don't beat yourself up because you're not present all the time. I now realize that the time that we do share is valuable because of the connection and the quality of the time.
Things are going to happen, good and bad. But being the man and being an adult man and knowing how a man is supposed to be, and how a male is supposed to be raised, and it should kind of be like an instinct thing. I raised him kind of how I would want to be raised. Yes, I'm not perfect. Nobody is. So it's mistakes, but family makes mistakes. And it's just like one of the things you have to move on past. Love doesn't change, Keep moving, keep moving regardless of what happens. Keep moving, keep pressing on. Stuff is going to happen. Everything's not going to be all jolly, and it's going to have issues sometimes, but pray about it, keep moving.